Yeah, Cherry finished with 3 blocks, I think, and seemed to give some really good defensive minutes. I guess just what have you seen from his evolution defensively?
Yeah, he's done a much better job of just being physical and contesting things at the rim. I thought he did a good job, just not letting them get the basketball down there. A couple times they got it pretty deep. The one play that he made that he came over when Taurus was taking Zach, and he came over and went over Zach to get that block was huge. But no, it just gives us a different look, gives us a physical presence in that position, gives us a guy who's, been relentless on the boards and gets after it. And then when Mason comes in, Mason brings that same physicality, but then Mason really stretches the defense with his ability to make threes and then be able to pass the basketball.
Matt, we're always talking turnovers, and you guys didn't turn the ball over in the first half. Just what did you see from your guys to be able to take care of the ball like that?
Well, obviously they're losing, their leading scorer, someone who gives them quickness, someone that can put pressure on the ball, can put, pressure on the defense with his, speed, quickness, ability to play make and shoot the basketball. And so I thought our guys did a good job of just, moving the ball and taking what they gave us and trying to establish our guys on the interior. We missed some shots around the rim in the first half, but we kept getting quality shots. I thought our effort was good. I thought our shot selection was good, and we just stayed with it. But, that's great to see. It's great to see that, we win a big portion of the game without turning the ball over.
Is this your most complete team at Purdue?
Yeah, I would say so. If, you're able to rebound. Tonight wasn't a good rebounding game for us, and we out-rebounded by 9. And only having 7 turnovers. But, yeah, I would say so. I mean, when you have someone like Miles Colvin, he shows, his ability to score the basketball, and he's a guy that we struggle to get minutes, and he's going to be a great player here. But, yeah, we have a lot of depth. And, we got 3 guys that come off our bench that have started for us. And so it just kind of shows you we got, a lot of options there. We just got to keep going.
Matt, it's a special night, obviously the cancer thing, the game for that. What does that game mean to you each year and moving forward and seeing so many here people trying to help?
Yeah, it's more for just, what Norm Stewart started, in Coaches vs. Cancer more than anything, and just all the money that everybody across college basketball has been able to raise, so hopefully someday find a cure. And, we're just trying to do a small part just like everybody, and then the, Coaches vs. Cancer's we eat in the suits and sneakers, and everyone's in this room's been affected by it. Everybody in the world's been affected by it. And, hopefully someday that, we can crack it and have a cure for cancer.
You gave Miles 7 minutes tonight. You put him in there late in the second half and then took him back out. What was your choice to take him out there with 4 minutes left?
Because I was playing the guys that practice every day and help us win. So I think anytime you get there and, giving guys, opportunities to play. Carson Barrett and Sam King, Chase Martin, Brian Waddell, Will Berg, they've sacrificed a lot for our program. And anytime you're in this situation, you want them to be able to, get an opportunity to play. They do a lot for us in practice. So that was it. See, what you don't understand is I want to play all those guys all the time, but they only give me 200 minutes. So you're like, hey, you took this guy out. Well, I didn't take him out and not put somebody in. That person's important just like the next person's important. Whether one guy is a walk-on, one guy's a starter, one guy's a sub, scholarship, it doesn't matter. They're a part of our team. So I just try to reward those guys at that moment when you can, to try to help. Make sense?
Coach, forgive kind of a simplistic question, but just how good is Lance Jones as an on-ball defender just individually?
Yeah. Well, he was good tonight. I thought he, caused some problems, got a couple, picks there at half court and really got the crowd into it, got some energy. But I also think he did a good job in the half court of staying into it and not fouling. Sometimes you can get a little over-aggressive, but if you're going to send him to the free throw line, it's counterproductive. So I think, for him, he really helped us by, just putting pressure on that basketball and making it hard for those guys more than anything. But I thought that really sparked us. Those steals that he got, that really got us going.
Matt, first 12 minutes, Zach doesn't score. You've leaned on him to carry you guys offensively. But what's it say about where your team is at right now that all those other guys kind of stepped up and carried
Right.
things offensively?
Yeah, just, our ability to shoot the basketball and have balance, I think that's more than anything. Last year we did a really good job of generating good shots, but we weren't consistent shooters. And so like that, I think held us back a little bit, even though we had a lot of success. But, guys are picking their spots better and, just kind of taking what the defense gives them. And anytime you can share the basketball and, there's nobody out there that they don't have to guard, right? And so I think that piece of it with Zachary, really helps us, and it helps us to grow. But it's also the maturity of our guys. I think that's probably the thing that's went out. Like we're more confident, we're making more shots, but just the maturity of our guys not to force things, especially after you hit a couple. Each guy, when you deal with the psyche of guys that are skilled, that can shoot, they're pretty confident, and sometimes that confidence, boils over a little bit into a bad shot or a bad play, and you'll see that. So if you play a lot of people that can shoot, you can get a lot of that at times, but we haven't gotten that. Even though we'll have a play here and there that way, as a team as a whole, we've done a really good job of really just taking what the defense gives us and shooting the shots that present themselves.
Did that maturity allow you to get through that 1 for 12 stretch shooting?
No question.
At the end of the first half?
Yeah, so like when you go 1 for 12, if like you're not mad about the shots you're taking, like you keep taking them, right? And if you take bad shots there and that's the reason you're missing them, then like you're in trouble. And a lot of times bad shots lead to transition baskets. Bad decisions, bad shots are normally layups at the other end. And our guys just, I thought, took some good shots and just missed them.
Matt, in a previous life, I saw Lance play a lot at Southern Illinois, and tonight the game gave him the chance to kind of
Right.
show the role that he had there.
Right.
Is the beauty of the portal kind of that? I know his role here is different. He's not going to be expected to do that every game, but the game, because he had a previous role, he can fall back on that.
Right.
How much does a portal kind of help you in terms of
Yeah.
getting players who can do things like that?
Yeah, we haven't had multiple guys in a while, from a transfer standpoint. We had one last year, we had one this year. So it's those guys fitting in, not like half of our roster fitting in, which there's a lot of coaches out there that are doing that. I think that's a harder, puzzle to fix because it's half your puzzle, right? This is just, one piece of our puzzle. And that's what a lot of people don't sometimes grab is that, he went 7 for 16, but he organically got 16 shots. A lot of times people put that on the coach. We run a lot of stuff through Braden and ball screens. We run a lot of stuff through Zachary. And when you give them that high volume, it's those other guys playing off of them. And, Fletcher does a great job playing off of them. Trey Kaufman does. Mason Gillis does a fabulous job. And you want more, right? You want more of it. And so when it presents itself, that's when you got to be aggressive. He can drive the basketball. He got a switch a couple times tonight, and you just think, oh, man, here comes a bad three. And then he just drove the basketball right by Taurus Reed and got a layup. That understanding of when you do have that. A lot of times when you have mismatches in those situations, especially on the perimeter, when you attack, you're normally going to attack for a teammate. Because now they know, hey, here's a mismatch. They're going to give a little bit more help. They're going to shrink their defense. Now you got to distribute. But he did a good job with that. But I don't think maybe one shot. I thought he took all good shots. And that's what he's got to do. He's just got to take what the defense gives him and don't worry about that. You see that sometimes with our other guys. You'll see Braden have a high-scoring game, and then he won't. And it's okay. It doesn't mean he didn't have a good game. And just keep doing all the things, the little things to help your team win. But no, Lance was more of a scorer because he needed to be there. And he needs to be here in particular times, particular games.
You've played some teams, this being one of them, that have a lot of big interchangeable wings.
Yeah.
Your guards obviously aren't all that big. When they get caught in switches and things like that, no one seems to be taking advantage of them to the extent that opponents probably would like. Are you getting what you need out of Braden and Fletcher and them from a defensive perspective?
Yeah, I mean,
Having to fight bigger guys or
yeah,
whatever?
we veer off some ball screens. We do some different stuff. Terrence Williams is a big wing. He's played a lot of 4 for him, and now he plays the 3. So it's more of, post up and when shots go up on rebounds, Like I thought they were pretty physical tonight, and I thought, you know, a couple times we didn't match that physicality, and they got some offensive rebounds. They got 14, we got 14, but you'd like to see that number be lower, you know, for your opponent. But, you know, just try your best. Don't foul people. You know, get in front of them, you know, knock it out, make it hard, make them throw it over the top, get a low help. The one time we did it in the first half, we just had to hold, and we didn't hold. They threw it to Taurus, and you have two guards dealing with him. He's just too big and strong. He just went right through him.
Matt, you mentioned this wasn't a great rebounding game for you, but Caleb, I think, gives you 6. Trey gives you 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I know you had Travion and Zach on the same team, but Brian asked if this is the deepest team you've had. Is this the best rebounding team you've had?
Probably, you know, because, you know, Zach is so consistent along there, and Trey Kaufman and Caleb and Mason, like their efforts that they give you. You know, Cam Heide would really help that if he played more. Cam Heide's a good rebounder. Yeah, he really helps. He really helps in that area with it. But yeah, it's that's why ball control is so important, because if you can get to where we're out rebounding people, I think by 11 or 12 now. So if you can out rebound somebody by 12, and then you can have fewer turnovers. Like, you know, you're stealing 15 possessions. Like, you know, like if you can, and that's your average, right? So like you can have games where it's higher, like we did other night.
How impressed were you with Brian Waddell's dunk?
Yeah, I saw it coming. Like yeah. So like when he gets ahead of steam like that, he's pretty athletic, pretty long, right there. But happy for him, man. It's hard, man. It's like, you know, he asked that question earlier. It's hard. I've never had this problem like this. It's a good problem to have. We have a lot of good players. Will Berg's a good player. Brian's a good player. Miles Colvin's a good player, like across the board. But, you know, it's hard to play 12, right?